Hi, YouTubies! It's me, Zachary Michael. Also! Girls, I don't know. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't know who that was. I don't know what that was all about. I don't listen. We gather here today, dearly beloved. We gather here to watch Darlene. Here she cries about her problems. Okay, well, here's what I will say. You might be looking at the title and thinking, Zach, this is gonna be serious. This is gonna be serious because it's talking about her son's broken leg. I before we get too far into anything, what you need to know is this video was recommended to me by Just Jamie, who's very famous, by the way. Just Jamie getting shout outs from Colin Mockery, Just Jamie being a moderator in Charlie Gold streams. Famously used to be a moderator, probably still is a moderator of Beck's live streams, even though Beck isn't really on YouTube again. Kicking Geese moderator, just very famous, Just Jamie. Very lucky lucky to have the Just Jamie 71166 in the chat. Won't she do it? Anyways, she said this is funny. Well, I don't know. She didn't say funny. She said reaction worthy, and said that she briefly talks about a GoFundMe for Derek's broken leg at the beginning, and then maybe like I think, what did you say happens in the last 3 minutes apparently are not necessary to react to. Let me just go get the receipts. She said, Darlene's new video could be a good time. It's 21 minutes long, but the last 3 minutes are eBay updates. And I said about her son's surgery. I'm exposing the DMs, Jamie. I'm exposing the DMs. I said about her son's surgery.
One beef equals one prayer.
Bagel D, thanks so much for 2 months of Prime. Appreciate it. And I said about her son's surgery, because in my head I'm like, not her son's surgery. I don't know if that's reaction worthy. And she said, yes, but it's not really about him at all. She talks about the experience at the hospital. And in the beginning, she promotes a GoFundMe for him, but it's quick. All right. ZM, no DMs are safe. I mean, honestly, truly, if anybody's DMing me about Girl World, about internet, about anything I do on the YouTubies, on the Twitch, then it's fair game for me to talk about. also, I think it's helpful to know Jamie's thoughts going into this. I don't trauma dump in DMs. T. And thank you for that, Jiva. And thank you. And we thank you for that. So anyways, y'all get to be the judge today. Y'all get to be the judge. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I appreciate Jamie and everything that she contributes. At the end of the day, if I don't make this transformative, if I don't make this interesting, that's on me. That's not on Jamie. Jamie did her part for the community. She sat through this video, she vetted it, and she said this is potentially reaction worthy. It's now my job, all right, to make this interesting. It's now my job to be like funny. Not like funny. It's just my job to be funny. All right. You either are or you're not. So we're going to do what we can do. And as someone who frequently sits through Darlene videos, that is a task. It feels like a performance review for Jamie. Now, not all that. Do I get a raise if it's good? The way Jamie isn't even being paid for this, she just does it. All right. Do I have anything else to say as a preface? As a preface for this? Anything? Anything? Bueller? Bueller? I don't think there is. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? If you're ready, put some 69s in the chat. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. You can put a little... We have a couple Darlene emojis, too, if you want to put those in. See, Mamacita? Oh, I'm a mommy. Mamacita. No, like a mom. Of what? A dog? Not the Devo. You... Potato Hater 69 is the only one that's allowed to use Devo. They invented that word famously. Of what? A pug? Who was the one that thought Poe was a pug? I have no idea what that mom quote is from. It's from this summer's season of Love Island. Diva-rino. Yes, exactly. Devotron. All right. Also I have her sped up. She's on 1.25 because we usually speed Darlene up a little bit because she, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. All right, let's get to.
Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene.
Hi.
I am going to fill you in a little bit on Derek's surgery for his broken leg. I don't know too much at this point, but I want to jump in, tell you a few things.
Tell me about it.
And I'm so tired. I am so wiped out, and the day was stressful, at least the morning was. And
I will say, before she gets into too much of anything, as a human who has spent some time, not myself personally in the hospital, but like with other people. So like my dad was in the hospital for like 7 months. Other people in my life, I've like gone to the ER with them, gone to the hospital with them for this, that, the other. Spending the day at a hospital in any shape, form, or manner is an exhausting experience, even if you're not the one that is sick. Even if you're not the one that is like getting the healthcare treatment, it is a task and a journey in its own. And yeah, hospitals I feel like are just kind of like depressing, not a fun place to be, sensory hell. Yeah, it just drains you. It really does. I remember like when my dad was in the hospital for all the stuff that he was going through, like it was a really long time, and like just being there day in and day out was mentally draining. And then even after a while, like I eventually started going home because I had to go back to work, and like I would go and travel for just like a day or two at a time, and just going for like a couple days to visit was always just mentally, physically, emotionally draining.
but anyway, so here we go. First of all, before I forget, one of Derek's friends, his name is Chris Camp, he started a GoFundMe for Derek. I was
doxing the old Chris Camp right out the gate.
really glad that he did that, because Derek has a lot of friends that he has made over the years that he's been living. 20 years now he's been in the South. He started in Nashville, and then he moved to the Memphis area when he found out about Skylar. And he did that.
What do you mean when he found out about Skylar? I don't know the lore. But Skylar is Derek's child. So I don't know the lore with Skylar.
Yesterday is when Derek told me, I think, is when it went up.
They didn't know about Skylar until she was 1 or 2. Oh. Okay, so T. Oh my god, I just realized, because somebody said, so no sardines. We didn't do the theme song. We didn't do the Darlene the Sardine Queen theme song. Is it appropriate to do now after we've already started talking about Derek getting surgery? Is that gauche? Is that a word, by the way? Gauche? Is that gauche? Do y'all know what word I'm thinking of? Wait, oh my god, I didn't mean to pin this comment. Wait, I didn't mean to pin this comment. Unpin this message. It is a word, but is it the word that I mean? Gauche. No, that's gouache. Gouache is a type of paint. I do know that. But I'm talking about gauche. Do y'all know how do you spell it? Am I not... Oh, wait. I don't think I spelled it right. Gauche? Lacking ease or grace. Unsophisticated and social awkward. It is the word I'm thinking of. It's the Learning Channel, divas. And today we learned about gauche. It is, it's probably gauche for me to sing the Darlene the Sardine Queen song. But I'm gonna do it anyways. Darlene the Sardine Queen, Darlene the Sardine Queen, Darlene the Sardine Queen, Darlene the Sardine Queen, Darlene the Sardine Queen. All right, back to the story.
And so I promoted it, and Derek promoted it. Other people have promoted it, and I will give you the link in the description, even if you're just curious to see how much he collects. And you won't see my name as having donated money, because GoFundMe takes a percentage of all that, and I certainly am going to help Derek, right? I have helped him in the past. I will continue to help him. I just don't want him to lose a chunk of money when I'm literally a 2-minute walk to his apartment.
Did Derek have health insurance? You know, it's hard to say, because even also sometimes with, I mean, we can go see what the GoFundMe says, but sometimes even with health insurance, it doesn't cover all of your medical expenses. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Camp, but many of you know me as Coach Camp. I'm asking for you to consider donating a few dollars to help my good friend out. On August 9th, my friend Derek Michaud had an accident at a pool that resulted in him sustaining a spiral fracture of his fibula, and he's set for surgery on August 18th to place a plate on his fibula. I guess it doesn't say anything about surgery. They've raised a little over $3,000 though. Good for them. Good for them. All right, let's get back to it. Because apparently what makes this interesting is not actually anything about Derek.
I can give him money. Help him out. So the link is in the description.
Oh. So Jamie in the chat said, yes, he does gig work, so he can't make money for a few minutes. That also makes sense. So sometimes it's also not even a matter of, like, covering your medical expenses, but, like the money you're missing out on from being at work and stuff like that. Jamie, thank you for sharing that information.
And the last time I looked, it was, I think, $2,411 or something like that. That was really good in one day. I don't know for sure if it was one day. It was just yesterday that I promoted it. And I have a lot of customers too, so it's really, really helpful. And I want to thank everybody, whether I know you or not. I want to thank everyone who
Customers or followers? I've got a lot of customers too. Are you talking about the people that follow you? Or you think only the people that buy stuff from you on eBay are the ones that are supporting it? I know she's got an eBay! But you think the fat quarter business is what brought people to go donate, and not just, like, people who watch her on YouTube? I know she sells fat quarters. I know she's got fabric people on the Facebook.
helping Derek out, because He is going to be like 3 months out of commission. I mean, I'm sure he'd be able to work, but the sad thing is, his studio. He moved studios, and it's on the.
This is the part where people are like, Zach, if you would just let her talk. She explains what the money goes towards. Heard. I'm just gonna let her yap for a bit. All right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Second floor, with no elevator, so he had to bring some stuff home to be able to work from home. That is not ideal for him with the setup that he has. They can do it on Zoom at his table or in his office, which was his office once upon a time, in his bedroom. But anyway, so he's going to be out of commission, and so I don't know. But I want to thank everybody, especially my patrons, my customers, my viewers, my subscribers, whoever wants to donate. That would be great. If you don't, that's fine too. In case you're just curious to keep track, the link is in the description, so please go check it out. And
I know you didn't say fat squatters. Chat, can we leave squirting? It's basically like a squirt shark. Can we leave that in the past? Can we leave that in yesterday's video? Can we? I don't think my space bar works. Why is that?
I want to thank Coach Camp. I know him a little bit. Very, very nice guy. And he's been a very...
Why does my space bar not pause the video? Did you replace your new... No. Well, actually, so it wasn't... There are some things about it that aren't working. And I think maybe it's just set up differently. I don't know. But this is it. I had been using the my old one because it wasn't working at all for a while, and I think I got that fixed, but it's whatever. Did you try slamming it against the wall? No. Michelle P took your space bar. God damn you, Michelle P!
Friend to Derek, and I'm just really appreciative that he started that. Okay, so that's that for that. This morning, I had my alarm set for 3:30 a.m. We went to have Derek at the hospital for 5 a.m. And I had told you a little bit about an issue with the hospital. This was the third hospital that they got for him, for his insurance. I have hair like all over the place in my face.
I can't imagine. Darlene had a problem with something?
I got up at 3 a.m. the day before, too, so I could be super tired, so I could try to go to bed early last night and get up again at 3:30. And I did okay. Got Derek there, dropped him off. He goes in, I park, I go in, and I hear him talking to the woman at the window, and she is saying that it's not the right place. And he's like, Ma, he says, we have to go to another building, but we have a shuttle. And I said, well, I'm going to just follow the shuttle because I'm assuming now we're going to be at that building for the rest of the time, and I don't want to have to take a shuttle back. So I talked to the shuttle woman, driver, and said, I'm parked down there, and I'd like to follow you. So I should have got on the shuttle. She could have dropped me off. I don't know. But I walked, and she followed, and then we went to the other building, parked, and dropped Derek off, and then I had to park, and then we go in, and the woman is clueless. She's like, what do you mean you have an appointment here? And she's like, we don't have you anywhere. And she said, why did you go to the emergency room in the first place? And he says, that's where the doctor told me to go. He said, go to the emergency entrance to check in. She goes, oh, she said, they must just want you to come in like you're just walking into the ER. And
that's not real. That's not how it. That's not how it works. Surely not. That's surely not how it works. Not gonna lie, Bessie, I've already switched off. That's okay. That's okay, Diva. With peace and love. It's not an airport. But you don't have to announce your departure, but I appreciate that you're here in any capacity, Diva. Didn't you go to the ER department? Me? No. Sometimes they ask you to use the ER doors and if the front doors aren't open at night. Girl, I have no idea. Well, I guess, you know what? If I hadn't paused, If I hadn't paused, she probably will go on to explain further.
It's not a scheduled surgery. He's like, well, they told me to come today, and they told me what time. She goes, yeah, because they're just going to want you in the ER. So we go back to the ER. I drop him off. I go park again. I come back, and he's sitting, and I said, what did she say? He said, she gave me a paper to fill out. He said, I just told her I'm here to check in. She gave me a paper to fill out, and I put it back on the counter, with the holder so we can talk. And he slid it there. She wasn't sitting there. So
I'm wondering if what happened is they called the doctor, and the doctor said, no, you have to go to the ER, and they're like, well, the doctor told us to come here for my appointment, and the ER was like, well, we don't do appointments here. Girl, I don't know.
I sit down, and I never see her move, but I don't know, because I was outside coming in, so I thought he gave her the paper. The paper's not there. She did something with it, and we're just waiting. So after about 30 minutes, and I'm trying really to be low-key because Derek is already nervous. He knows he's worried that I can get pissed off, but I also know I'm not doing that shit anymore around.
I love that he's worried that his mom is going to get just like she is. She's going to get like Darlene. She's going to have a Darlene moment.
Other people. I don't need to be upsetting Derek.
There's something off with this keyboard. Am I able? Oh, now the keyboard's not typing anything again. Oh, it's doing that again. Divas, I can't do this. Divas, what we're not doing today is that. What we're not. Let me pull out the old keyboard, because now it's not doing anything. No worries. Let me hardwire in with the old keyboard. No worries. Give me just a second, divas. She's back. She's back. The old one's back. All right. See, the thing is that this one has issues too, which is why I got a new one, but at least it types to some extent. At least it types to some extent. Okay. Where were we at?
He knows he's worried that I can get pissed off, but I also know I'm not doing that shit anymore around other people. I don't need to be upsetting Derek or upsetting Joe when I'm with him.
Oh,
so I'm trying to be calm now.
Okay.
A new me.
Okay, growth. Okay, growth. Trying to be calm now. Trying to learn. Imagine prepping for surgery and being more concerned about Darlene losing it. No, T. Also, we should place emphasis here on trying, because something tells me, based on the fact that she's gearing up to tell us a story about all of this, that it wasn't successful. Darlene went back and watched old videos and saw that she used to repeat her behaviors. Is that something she said?
Derek doesn't know that I'm a new person. So he's worried. So I said to him, if you don't mind, I'm going to go up and ask her a couple questions about, like, where you might be going.
Oh, that's something that Aunt Tammy said. Oh, okay, I see.
So I know. He's like, yeah, sure. So I asked her, I said, I just wanted to know a couple of things about when he has his surgery, like, what can I expect? And she goes, is he here for that? And I said, well, yeah. I said, he told you, I assume, that he's here for surgery because he checked in. She goes, he never checked in. He looks up, and I said, did you check in? He said, yeah. He said, I gave you the paperwork back. She goes, there's no paperwork here. He gets up, with his crutches, comes over. He goes, I put the paperwork right here. He said, you were gone, and the paperwork was right here. And she said, I never got any paperwork. There was nothing here. And I said, do you mean to tell me, I said, that all this time we're just sitting here and you don't even have the paperwork? Now, to me, I want to say, why the fuck aren't you asking us? What are you doing here? We don't have paperwork. To me, if Derek and I are the only ones, like, sitting there was somebody else way down in another section.
Okay, to be fair, I have been in an ER. I've been in an ER, and like the past 5 years, I've gone to the ER with somebody twice, and both times were miserable experiences for the most part. Just to be clear. Also, I don't suspect that, like, the triage nurse that is, like, there to, like, organize the ER is probably even aware that they sat down. But I could understand there is something about being in the ER that, like, enrages people, which is why I also find it hard to believe that Darlene wasn't mad. I mean, just look at her face right here talking about it. Okay, but why would you just leave the paperwork there raw dogging on the counter? Also, like, my only guess is, like, if he's on crutches, he probably is limited in what he can do. So he probably was like, I'm just going to put it here. Like, I don't want to sit here and wait while I'm standing on crutches, you know?
Don't you think she'd be curious to say, do you need us? I mean, are you here to check in? Because I don't have anything from you. But no, they would have just let us sit there forever. And Derek would have probably been there at least an hour before he would have asked. So she says, there's no paperwork here. And then all of a sudden she picks up a piece of paper and she goes, not just one piece, but there was a couple pages. And she goes,
I also am not even convinced yet, by the way, and I'm sure Darlene isn't either, that they're even in the right place. I'm also not even convinced yet that they're in the right place for this surgery.
Oh, here it is. It was sideways, like in a thing that holds papers, like mail and stuff. It was in there. I can promise you Derek didn't put it there. It was on the other side of her desk. So now she said, okay, so you're checked in, and I'll go give this to somebody. So somebody else comes out now and talks a little bit. And
Wait. Colin said she was totally zen at the ER. She was thinking, no, I'll save this for YouTube. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if the thought in her head wasn't there. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if she wasn't thinking, like, oh, I can make a YouTube video about this later. I would be surprised if she was totally zen in the ER, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was sitting there thinking, I can make a YouTube video out of this later.
Explaining it to us, and this is how I understand it, that yes, Derek is being treated as someone who just walked into the ER, and it seems to be something to do with insurance. They said this hospital was in network the third time. They call him to tell him where he's going to have surgery.
Uh-huh.
But now it almost sounded like maybe they're not in network. That's the way I took it. And what they're doing is they will not refuse anyone in this hospital. The other hospitals say, nope, not in network. He can't have his surgery here. But here he said they will not refuse anyone, but his insurance will take it or cover it, most likely, if it is an ER visit.
Why did she whisper the words, most likely? Why is that a secret? I'm always so intrigued by Darlene deciding to whisper little certain parts of her videos.
But he broke his leg like a week ago, a little over a week ago. I don't know, I think we're going to have trouble with the insurance.
A surgery is put on a schedule usually. That's why I'm so confused about what's going on here.
So Derek says, well, when do I have my surgery? Whenever they can. He said, you're here. We're going to be moving you to the ER room, giving you a room at the ER. And when there's surgeons available, we'll do the surgery. No guarantee it was even going to be today.
That's so ass backwards.
I know. I was like, I know. But he said, this doctor has nothing to do with his surgery, but he was so nice. And he explained to us how it all works. And
that is so confusing, and that does sound like such a scam. But also, spoiler alert, healthcare in America? A scam, divas! A scam! They're treating him as an ER patient because they couldn't find an in-network hospital to cover it, but they will cover it if it's an emergency. Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to find a workaround.
He said the good thing is that you are here and you will not leave here until you have your surgery. It didn't take too long that they got him a room in the ER. I went with him, and I was trying to get help from somebody. Like, I'm the contact. Who do I give my number to? Like, nobody's asking me.
Poe, just before anybody's like, Poe's calling BS, Poe can't hear all the noise that Darlene's making is in these ear pods. But I do like that as a concept. We're just gonna close the close the door to the room because sometimes that helps him not be able to hear whatever's happening in the stairwell.
These questions.
Not when does this get good. Hot Cheeto? Hot Cheeto? Hot Cheeto? Please file all complaints with just Jamie 71166 in the chat. You can forward all complaints to just Jamie 71166 in the chat.
Because they have nothing to do with this. We're just sitting there until he's transported to wherever he is going to go to have his actual surgery. So I was there. Let me see. I'll know, like, when I texted Joe.
No, Jamie, don't change your name. And please do comment again. I don't know what y'all mean. This is peak Darlene. It is. Like, we still gotta let her cook a little bit. It's giving Darlene complaining about shit. And that is my favorite version of Darlene. If Darlene ain't complaining, for me, it's not interesting. And you can tell the wheels are turning. The complaints are turning in her mind.
Tell me that my phone just died. Oh my God.
Oh, fuck.
0%. I need to charge that.
Now, whose fault is that, Darlene?
I probably left there.
You know whose fault it is that Darlene's phone is on 0%? Just Jamie 71166. It's your fault, Jamie. Blame just Jamie. Hashtag blame just Jamie today.
Around 10. So I was there 5 hours, and Skylar and Skylar's mom come. So I thought, okay, at least he has somebody else here. I can go home. I kind of wanted to sleep. That didn't happen, but I knew that it would be a long day for him and that I would be coming back. And I didn't want to be there all day. You know, the man said he could be here till 8 o'clock tonight. He could have to stay here tonight. So
that's also crazy.
I left, but I still tried so hard to get somebody to take my contact info. And I'm like, look, I just want somebody to know that I want to pick him up and I would like somebody to call me.
Is it okay? Sorry, I think I got a little distracted when we were blaming Jamie for everything. Shouldn't if she's like his emergency contact, shouldn't that be in his file already somewhere? Like, I don't understand. Like, isn't that something you tell people?
Even when he's in recovery, but she's like, yeah, but we have nothing to do with any of that. So one woman, like a nurse, I would assume, or a technician or something, is with her computer, like, rolling around the hallways. She said, I'll put your number in his chart. And I said, that's great. And she did, and she even showed me. She goes, look, but... And then
I'm sure you made her show you.
I was worried that Derek wouldn't have his phone with him, and they might ask, and I was worried he'd lose his phone. One person told me, don't let him leave anything here, not even his crutches. And I said, okay, but he wanted his phone, and I understand that. So he has his phone. But I gave him my number because, you know, people don't know anybody's number anymore. I happen to know his, and I know Joe's. I memorized their numbers, but okay. I left.
All right, math genius, memorizing phone numbers. She's smart.
Came home, and we chatted, you know, texted back and forth, and nothing until, what time is it right now? And again, I can't even look at my phone to look at the timeline.
Wait, he's still there?
It was probably around, it's almost 5 right now. It was probably around 3:30. When Derek's girlfriend, LaShawn, let me know that they were bringing...
She's in Utah for a gig. Okay.
bringing him out back. And I think that's the building that he was shuttled to. It is, like, connected, but it's...
They took him out back? They took him out back to put him down? I shouldn't joke about that. The way she said that, though, sounds like, you know... They did him like Old Yeller, I know.
Far away, so that's why they gave him a shuttle ride there, because I think that's where surgeries are, just not his. It wasn't in the records for them because they were treating this like an ER visit. I hope some of this makes sense. Oh, and another thing is when he gave him a room at the ER and he was on his bed, there was no pillow, and it was funny because he was just holding his head like off the bed, and I was like, "You need a pillow." He's like, "No, I'm all right." I'm like, "You're gonna have a sore neck. So asked for a pillow, and when somebody came in, and so
I will say, I don't know. I will say, I feel like sometimes in hospitals you do need somebody like Darlene to get shit done. Sometimes you do have to be like, oh, I shouldn't have knocked. You okay, pal? Oh, he's unfazed. Okay, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna think somebody is knocking on our front door. Sometimes you, like, I will say, both of the last times I was at the ER, like, I had to be a little assertive on behalf of the person that I was there with, because it's like, nurses are stretched thin. Like, that's, like, no shade to nurses. Like, nurses work really hard. I'm really appreciative of, like, all people who work in the medical field. But you have to, like, they oftentimes have several patients that they're looking over, and you just have to be on top of, like, making sure that, like, you advocate for yourself or whoever you might be there with. There's also a way to do it and not be, you know, but
Eric, is like, yeah, it would be nice to have a pillow. And she says, oh, we don't usually have pillows on Mondays until the afternoon.
That's weird.
Like, what? She said, yeah, they don't come in and deliver pillows on the weekend.
That's weird.
And so by Monday, we have no more pillows. In the fucking ER? I don't understand stuff like that. So she said they should come in at some point today. And when they come in, someone will bring you a pillow.
I'm kind of inclined to agree with Darlene, like, because what the fuck? You just don't have fuck you if you come into the ER on a Monday. I guess. I've never watched this woman before, and in the fucking ER comment sent me. Now, Daydreamer, weren't you one of the people that said, I'm not gonna lie, bestie, I'm already tuned out. Today is just a day for me to gently roast the people in the chat. Today, it's less about Darlene and it's mostly about me just roasting you all in the chat. You gotta be patient. Sometimes the videos are a slow burn, okay? Yes, but Darlene won me back. We can change our opinion, Zach. Yeah, but you said you already tuned out. Imagine you didn't come back. Oh, this is when people are gonna be like, I can't believe the way Zach treats his audience. How dare he? Did they pack snacks for the ER like Rosie did? Diva. We're gonna keep it pushing with Miss Ma'am.
So he did let me know, again, I can't look, that this afternoon he did get a pillow and he took a nap. He said they shut the light off, so he took a nap. So he said he felt pretty good. He was glad that he had a pillow. So, all right. Now, I took it as he was going in for surgery, but it could have been that he's just going to that section of the hospital now. And I'm going to be calling the ER, that's the only number they gave me, and ask them, where is he and how, is it called surgery, whatever. I need to be transported. Transferred? I need to be transported. I don't even want to drive there.
Teleport me to Mars, Teletubby. Teleport me to Mars. Oh my gosh, not the idea of Darlene taking some purse butter with her to the ER. She probably did. I wouldn't put it past Miss Ma'am to take some butter. To take some butter to the ER with her.
But I need to be transferred so I can know what the fuck is going on. And so I thought he was in surgery, but it could be that he's just there waiting now. And right now it's 5 o'clock. I did text him, but his phone was about to die too. He didn't leave his charger. He didn't keep his charger with him.
So
also,
is that music here somewhere, or is that in her video? Do y'all hear the little... the little... I mean, not right now because I paused the video, but did you... Am I making something up? Am I going crazy?
I'm going to be making a call as soon as I'm done boring you to tears. And
Wait.
He didn't keep his charger with him.
There's some kind of
I'm
music.
I'm going to be making a call as soon as I'm done boring you to tears. And let's see where he is. And
she's self-aware. She knows that Daydreamer and Nuanced Hot Cheeto are bored to tears in my chat right now. She's talking to y'all. She said, as soon as I'm done doing this, I'm gonna make a follow-up call.
what they can expect. And then I want to know when he is out. And then the recovery, they said, is probably like 2 hours. And I'll go like before he's ready. I want to be there. When he's ready to come home, I want to already be there. I can sit there and crochet. Is there anything else that I want to fill you in on? Other than that, I did really good. I didn't get mad at anybody. I'm very proud of myself. I really am.
Good for you, Darlene. You behaved. You didn't get mad at anybody. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Darlene. Nobody got... You weren't mad. You weren't angry at anybody. Good for you, Miss Ma'am. How old are you? Listen, growth happens at different times for everybody. Sometimes it takes... Oops, I didn't mean to push... Now I'm, like, trigger happy with a space bar that actually works. But you did that. You did that. Part 2, on the other hand, could be, since it's the pickup saga. Well, part 2, I assume, will happen tomorrow. Because this is... Well, what's this? Or maybe today. This was yesterday, I think, that she posted this. So, part 2 will probably come out today.
And... because I can lose my cool, because it's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid. I mean, nobody knows anything that is going on. And it blew me away with the saying that he didn't drop that. He's like, and he was being calm too, because he can also lose his cool.
Oh,
like,
can he?
I put it right here on under.
Now, I would like to know more about Derek being a hothead, but also, I was literally just before this stream started talking about my own personal challenges with the healthcare system. So I can't lie. It is so frustrating if she really did keep her cool, which, like, hard to say. And also, what does keeping her cool look like for Darlene specifically? I'm sure that looks a lot different for Darlene than it does for maybe me, you, and the audience, you in the Twitch chat. But yeah. And is Derek single? Well, he's not, Hot Cheeto. See, Hot Cheeto, this is how I know you ain't paying attention, because you're so bored, because she literally mentioned Derek's girlfriend, LaShawn, but you're so bored you didn't even catch it. You're so bored. See, you're not even paying attention. How do you know that you're bored? How do you know that you're bored if you're not even paying attention?
This, space in the window. So, and no, he couldn't eat, which is fine, but he couldn't have any water. And I've had surgeries before, and they'll give you some ice chips or whatever that you can, your mouth gets dry. So I was just, I don't know. I'm sure there's more I want to tell you.
Yeah.
But the day's not over. I don't know if he will actually be going home to his apartment tonight or not, because I don't know how late his surgery will be.
If at all.
Okay, please go check out his GoFundMe. Let me see. Let me check and see what he's up to.
Zach is just mad they ran out of tomatoes at the fair, so they're bullying us. Oh, I'm just mad that the guy that I threw tomatoes at the Renaissance Fair didn't bully me. I have a bullying kink. I like to be bullied just a little bit. I like it just a little bit, just a little tiny bit.
I'm hoping by mentioning it here in a video that people who don't follow me or him on Facebook and stuff.
No, Megan. Maybe if Derek ate a carnivore diet, his leg would be cured. That's so real.
Hop on over and put some tips in the bucket. What am I looking for? Okay, Facebook. I have to go to Facebook to find it.
Facebook, the face place.
And
is this
I
it?
Put up some auctions. You can go check my eBay.
Is this the eBay update?
eBay. Some scraps.
I drink his beef piss. That's a really weird thing to say. That's a really weird thing to say. Is this where she just starts talking about the eBay?
And I have 500-piece.
Oh, Jamie said yes, it is.
eBay store. Go check those out. I take the pictures of every print. 500 prints. I'm working on scrap packs. 1,000 prints with no duplicates. The 500, there's no duplicates.
I think I'm
and
good.
I include extras in
I think
case
we're good.
I make a mistake, because it is very possible. I have a system, but it's...
I think we're just as confirmation. Just Jamie71166. We're good. Yeah, she's just gonna talk about her fat quarters or whatever. And look at that. I timed it perfectly to end at 6. Just Jamie, my queen. Just to be clear, I had a great time. Just to be clear, I wasn't the one with a problem today. Listen. Different strokes for different folks, okay? Different strokes for different folks. Anyways, YouTubies, thanks for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the reaction today. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, YouTubies! Subscribe!